This is the story of a mom. She had dreams. She had aspirations. Her craft supplies were going to be sorted by color. But then there were kids. They didn't care about things being sorted by color. In fact, they didn't even care about things being sorted. For all they cared, things could be stored on the ground.
That's not even where that goes. Hello friends, if you're new here, my name is Kallie, also known as That Practical Mom, and along with enjoying making dramatic intros to my YouTube videos, I also had 4 kids in 6 years, and that has taught me a lot of things, and one of them is that kids are not aesthetic. Like whatever the opposite of aesthetic is, that's what kids are. And so that leaves it on us, the parental supervision, to create systems to keep things organized so that your house doesn't look like it is possibly the crime scene of a robbery gone wrong. Like seriously, what is happening here? That's why today I want to tackle kids' spaces like we are professional organizers, creating systems and structures that actually work and actually stick. So let's do this. Now, when it comes to kids, you need to create structures that are obvious and clean. This is why I always say to use open bins. This is key. You don't want lids because they are a barrier to cleaning up. And let's be honest, we all know kids are just going to lose the lids anyways. So when I am organizing something that I need contained, I opt for something that zips closed or that has a lid that is literally attached. Otherwise, I always opt for open bins. These Bright Room ones are from Target, and they, in my opinion, are like the GOAT. The Container Store also makes identical ones to these. They come in 3 different sizes, and I use them to organize literally everything in my house. And what's really great about them is that they are clear. Kids like to be able to see their stuff. Now, clear bins do create a little more visual noise than an opaque bin might, but it just makes it so much more likely that things are going to make their way back to where they belong. And again, you want to make things as obvious as possible. You don't want to stand there holding an item wondering where it goes, or have your kids standing wondering where it goes. The answer should be quick and easy for everybody. So create macro categories to putting things away. This will make it faster. So instead of like having a bin for Hot Wheels and a bin for construction vehicles and a bin for, I don't know, like wooden cars, consider just a bin for vehicles. It is a quicker win, and it makes it so much more likely that they are going to end up where they go. All right, next let's talk about stuffed animals. Why are there so many? I don't know. Where do they come from even, right? It's like the opposite of socks. My socks are always disappearing, and in their place, there's another random stuffed animal. This is a possible conspiracy. I think somebody needs to get the people of Netflix documentaries on this thing.
In a quiet suburban home, nestled among goldfish crumbs in the carpets and the rhythmic thud of a toddler jumping off furniture they definitely shouldn't be on, something peculiar is happening. Every week, socks mysteriously vanish, gone without a trace. But the real mystery? The ever-growing population of stuffed animals. Where do they come from? Who is behind it? And what do they want with our socks? We spoke to one mother who wished to remain anonymous.
I don't know where it came from. It just appeared on my son's bed one day. He told me its name was Sparkle Toots. I didn't buy it. Where did it come from? And where are my socks?
Parents across the globe are baffled. The truth? We may never know. This is the great plush conspiracy.
Right. Well, I've tried a couple of methods when it comes to organizing stuffed animals, and besides just accidentally losing them, I find that stuffing them into things works best. Okay, hear me out. We have this big square poof that has a zipper, and I just fill it to the brim with stuffed animals. It is huge. Excuse me. I'm trying to put them in. I'm trying to put them inside of the bin. It holds a ton, and it takes me maybe a minute or 2 to fill it and zip it, and it instantly makes the space look so much more tidy, not having all the stuffed animals out. My kids are happy because they can still get their stuffed animals whenever they want, and I am happy because I do not have the visual noise of 30 pairs of beady eyes staring back at me. All right, next up, I want to talk about getting some stuff up off the floor. I've been struggling with this lately in the kids' sort of play area. They have these slightly larger toys. They don't fit onto shelves, but I want to get them up off the floor. So we're going DIY here, which means obviously we're starting with a trip to the home improvement store. After wandering the aisles for a little while because I'm too stubborn to ask for help, I finally did ask for help, and then they told me that they didn't have what I needed in stock, and so then I had to get in the car and go to another home improvement store. And there I finally found some basic white pegboard. I also got these nylon screw spacers, which will give my pegboard some space between the wall. Then in the paint aisle, I debated a fun color for a while to paint my pegboard, but I decided ultimately to go for just a basic off-white. All in all, this project cost me $35 in supplies. I painted the pegboard at home, and then I installed it using drywall anchors and screws. I used those little nylon spacers to give the pegboard space between the wall and the pegboard so that my hangers could be installed. And then it's trial and error to get your pegboard organized how you want it to be. And honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't need to be perfect. I have found this is one of my favorite easy affordable hacks for playroom toys that don't fit well onto bins and shelves. It is completely customizable, so depending on what toys you have as your kids age and they go through different toys, it is really easy to swap them out with different hooks and move the hooks around. And it was just such an easy and affordable solution to a problem that we had with my kids' stuff. And I actually loved the way this turned out so much that it inspired me to get some other stuff off my ground in our foyer. We always have at least 1 or 2 strollers in our foyer with 4 kids, and currently it's summer. We have 2 different babysitters that are helping out, so we have just different needs for different types of strollers. My son is now riding a bike a lot, so that's around. Our house has no garage, I guess I should say that, so we have to get really creative with our outdoor gear. And even though I need to have these things available, it always really bothered me that they were clogging up our foyer. So I found these heavy-duty hooks. People use them for like tools and ladders and whatever, and I got a few and installed them along the top half of the long wall in our foyer. Again, I used drywall anchors to make sure these were nice and secure. You could also put them into the studs if you have studs in the spots that you needed them. And this was so nice to be able to get those things up off of the floor. Maybe not a Pinterest perfect foyer, but it is super practical, useful, and it stays so much tidier this way. But I think this is a really great solution if you're like me and you're working in a tight space, you don't have a basement, maybe you're in an apartment and you need to get those things up off of the ground. Another organization hack I love that I installed last year was my kids have lockers. We added these last summer, and it is honestly one of the best organizational structures I have done for my kids. Now, before you ask, yes, this is 3 lockers. And I have 4 kids. Currently, my 2 younger kids share one because I couldn't fit 4 across here. That is we will cross that river when we get there. Right now, they're sharing and it's fine. It has been so amazing to have a holding zone for my kids' stuff, especially, like I said, because we have no garage. Each kid has a place for their shoes, their coats. In the winter, we use it for hats and mittens. In the summer, we have our bike helmets, our swim stuff in there. It's easy for them to access and put stuff away. It looks kind of cute because it's right in my main living space, and I can just shut the door and it looks really picked up. I still use clear bins inside the locker for easy sorting, for the kids to easily put their stuff away, but then I can close the door and I don't have to look at it. As pretty as those open concept mudrooms are that you see all over Pinterest, all I could think about was how cluttered and messy that would look. So having these lockers has been a really great solution for us. Moving back into the playroom, another organization item that I've installed that I really love are using clear paper organizers. Again, clear is really great for kids. One, I use them for activity type books that don't make sense on a bookshelf. So like coloring books, mazes, hidden picture books. My kids love I Spies, but they never really got utilized when I had them on the bookshelf with regular books. So this has been really great to sort of pull those out and put them in their own space. Really easy to put them away for my kids and for myself. They also work really great for little card games or any of those type of activities. We also ended up installing 2 by this dollhouse. We got this dollhouse at a white elephant sale near us. It's like one of those intense handmade wooden ones that you have to slowly put together, and we're having a lot of fun with it. But I installed 2 of these organizers above the dollhouse is a really great way just to keep some of the extra little dollhouse pieces. Finally, I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite hacks for storing kids' artwork. I've been doing this since my son was old enough to have his own art. When it comes to displaying kids' artwork, I've tried all different kinds of ways. I've had the fancy little frames that you hang and you open and you put the new artwork in. I just found them kind of hard to install, and then my kids would always like accidentally rip them down when they were putting new artwork in. The other problem with those frames is like you have to have always artwork that fits perfectly into the frame, which I found with children almost never is it like the perfect size to fit into those frames. And I have tried other methods, but at the end of the day, the one that I always come back to is just a good old string with clothespins. So you can do this with command hooks. In this case, I just added some like little C hooks that I screwed into our wall. You string it with a long piece of string, and then you get some clothespins, and you can easily hang up your kids' artwork, switch it out seasonally, switch it out as they get new stuff. The string, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's a perfect square piece of artwork or it's its own little shape. You can just click literally anything up there. And for me, it has been the best way to easily, quickly, and effectively store all of my kids' artwork. All right, my friends, that does it. Some of my favorite ways to organize my kids' stuff like a professional organizer, looking at it from ways that don't just get the kids' stuff organized, but are actually systems and methods that you and your kids can actually stick with, and don't just necessarily look Pinterest perfect. Not that Pinterest perfect is bad, but we need systems that we can actually stick with. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.